If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I love making crossover what-ifs. Stories such as Dragon Ball Chaos Crossover and What Affinity are some of my favorites. Today, one of my patrons, Levin726, has challenged me with another story today. Today, we're going to be tackling What If Kingdom Hearts was in Dragon Ball. Before we begin, if you guys want to suggest a what if to me with a 100% guarantee that I'll do it, then make sure to join my Patreon page and suggest a what if. Thanks so much. Now, Kingdom Hearts is a series that has so much inside of it. So many Disney worlds, so many Final Fantasy characters, and so much lore. It will be hard to include the world of Dragon Ball to fit perfectly into the series, but I'm not here to make it fit perfectly. We're going to be taking some liberties with this series since, number one, the Kingdom Hearts lore is ever-changing, so I might get something in the lore wrong, and number two, it'll just be funner to make some stuff up, just like in my Chaos Crossover series. And also like in Chaos Crossover, I'm not gonna have Dragon Ball just be a world that Sora, Donald, and Goofy visit for one game and then never again. I'm gonna try to incorporate the lore of Dragon Ball into the lore of Kingdom Hearts as well, in a way where it'll seem like it's always been there. Now, warning for people who have never played Kingdom Hearts before, the lore, especially the mobile game lore, is really wacky. Like, the main series isn't that bad, but when you get to stuff like Union Cross and Dark Road, those are pretty wild. If you want to know a lot about those games, then I suggest checking out Everglow's Kingdom Hearts timeline he is currently rebooting, since that will show all of the important events in the series, and Damo279's videos explaining Union Cross and Dark Road if you don't understand what happened. If you don't want to watch those though, you can just play the games for yourself, and don't worry, I'll do my best to try and make everything as easily comprehensible as possible. So, with all that out of the way, let's get right into this series. Our story begins in a battle between light and darkness. The Great Keyblade War shook up the entire multiverse, where multiple warriors lost their lives attempting to protect the light and destroy the darkness. Unfortunately, this great battle ended with no victors. Most of the Keyblade wielders destroyed each other, with only 6 of the Dandelions barely able to scrape together what was left. Darkness was still out there, and continued to consume countless worlds. Darkness spread and spread, until it eventually reached the world of Planet Namek. Planet Namek was a planet without any Keyblade wielders, so it was unable to protect itself once the darkness came and began to consume the planet. Only one Namek managed to survive, the son of Katos, who was sent off of Namek in hopes of being able to survive the darkness. The young Namekian, Kami, was launched through the universe, eventually landing onto a sacred land, the land of Scala ad Kylum. The young Kami waited for his parents to eventually come for him, though they never did. Unbeknown to him, they were destroyed by the darkness. The young boy was found by Master Odin, the new master of this land, who trained up the remaining Keyblade wielders in hopes of defeating the darkness. While this young boy certainly was very different from the rest of the group on Scala, Odin could sense great potential within him, deciding to take him in to train and teach him everything he knows. Kami begins his training under Master Odin to become a Keyblade wielder, training with the other Keyblade wielders around him as well. While it takes him some time to learn how to summon a Keyblade of his own, Kami is a remarkable warrior even without it, being able to take down most of the members in his class, even though they have a Keyblade of their own. Since he was a Namekian, the Keyblade didn't come naturally to him, which made Odin realize that Kami needed to try and make one of his very own. He had the potential there, all he needed to do was draw it out. Kami looked deep inside of himself, imagining how he would craft his Keyblade to look, and while he's deep within his heart, he discovers a light left within him from his Namekian heritage, a light named Shenron. Kami summons forth his own Keyblade, the Shenron Keyblade, stunning the whole group with his powers. With Shenron, Kami is able to take out most of the students with no issues at all, easily ranking the highest in his class. Master Odin is impressed with the young boy, as after years not being able to create a Keyblade of his own, here he is, creating the most powerful one of all. While most of the students in his class are impressed with his power and use him as a motivation to get more skilled themselves, there is one student who looks at him completely differently, Bragi. Bragi is a wielder who's seemingly been on Scala for a short amount of time, but is a very skilled Keyblade wielder himself. Through their sparring matches, Bragi has been the one to give Kami the most trouble, and even with his Shenron Keyblade, Bragi seems to be more skilled than he is with it. He doesn't show it, however, and seems to intentionally lose to Kami. He doesn't know why, and doesn't hold any ill will towards Bragi whatsoever. He just finds it very odd. Ericus is another Keyblade wielder who is very skilled, and one who gets along with Kami the best. Ericus is chill and laid back, somebody who always picks fights with Kami to try and test himself. It always backfires in the end for him, but Kami appreciates his enthusiasm every time they spar. One day, the land of Scala changes forever, as somebody else has crash landed to this land. A boy who seems to have forgotten who he is and how he got there, very similar to Kami himself. This boy's name he eventually discovers is Xehanort. Xehanort is taken in by Master Odin as well, and is a very skilled wielder in his own right, as he was able to summon a Keyblade almost immediately. Kami gets the same vibes from him as he does Bragi. He seems to not know much about the Keyblade, but there's definitely some form of familiarity there. He doesn't feel like he's hiding anything like he does with Bragi, however, as he knows Xehanort suffers from amnesia, which is probably why he doesn't know how good he probably really is with the Keyblade. Over the years that Xehanort is on Scala, he finds out more of his past and that he's from another world, just as Kami is. The two could spend hours talking about how they feel on the other worlds, and how they're the only two out of everybody that have been outside of Scala, even though they don't remember much about it. Xehanort knows he's from a place called the Destiny Islands, and is unsure of if it was destroyed or not. Kami isn't sure in the fate of his homeworld either, as it's all still a blur to him. He waited a long while to see if his parents would come for him, though they never showed. The two relate a lot to each other, and become better friends, and even Xehanort becomes with Ericus. Their sparring sessions are insane too, as Xehanort's abilities with his Keyblade and the magic he can summon from it are amazing. Him and Kami are pretty much equals, though Kami has the stronger Keyblade, which always gives him the edges in matches. Master Odin eventually reveals to Kami and the others of his class that it is time for them to take their Mark of Mastery exam, the test to see if they are all truly Keyblade Masters. They are to journey off from this world to others out there and defeat as much darkness as they can to see if they are truly worthy. Kami says goodbye to Xehanort and Ericus, as he's not sure on how long he'll be gone, but when they see him again, he's going to be a master. Kami and the others go through many worlds to defeat the Heartless, embodiments of darkness themselves, pushing their powers even further. While they're on their exam though, Kami begins to feel something strange inside of him. Every time he kills one of the Heartless, he feels their dark energy greater and greater. He tries to push the thoughts away, as he doesn't want to become corrupted by the darkness, but they just keep seeking their way inside of him. The other upperclassmen try to help Kami, as they can clearly tell something is wrong, but he tries to resist their help, saying he can overcome it himself. He is very wrong, however, as every time they journey to a new world through the corridors of darkness, the dark impulses become even more powerful, so much so that Kami doesn't know how much longer he can keep it at bay. The others can see the dark energy surrounding Kami, and position themselves to attack him in case he tries to go after them. Kami can't allow the darkness to overcome him, so decides to forcefully remove it from his body himself. He takes his Keyblade and stabs himself in the chest with it, extracting all of the darkness from within. Once the darkness is removed, Kami collapses, with the others watching as the darkness begins to take hold and changes itself into a full creature of darkness. Hoder goes up to the creature, asking him who he is. The creature smiles and explodes in dark powers. The creature says that he is a being of pure darkness, and they can call him Piccolo. He was born from within Kami's heart. When their home planet was overtaken by darkness, a small piece of darkness latched itself into Kami's heart to try and prevent his escape. Over the years, the darkness in his heart slowly grew, and once they came in contact with other dark beings such as the Heartless, the darkness was able to grow exponentially into him, Piccolo, the Dark Demon King. Piccolo extends his hand out, blasting Hoden out of existence with one dark energy blast. Baldur, Hoden's brother, screams out in anguish as he watches his sister perish in front of him. The others all attack, with Piccolo fending them all off without even summoning a Keyblade of his own. Heimdall, Helgi, and Sigrun are all killed, with Baldur being the only survivor. Piccolo walks up to the sobbing Baldur, with him begging to be killed as well, so he can join his sister in the afterlife. Piccolo laughs hysterically, saying that would be far too merciful for him. He can sense that this boy has darkness within him as well, and he's going to become his servant to the dark. Piccolo sends darkness right into Baldur's heart, corrupting him into becoming a being of darkness as well. Piccolo goes over to the unconscious Kami's body, claiming he would love to kill him, but if he dies, then he will die as well. Piccolo opens a corridor of darkness, with him and Baldur stepping through to return Kami to Scala. Right as they arrive, the other classmen can tell that there is something very wrong, as they sense immense darkness in this land. The group all summon their Keyblades and see Piccolo drop Kami right in front of them. He boasts that he is the great Dark Demon King Piccolo, and he is going to destroy every single world around them, except for this one, due to Kami and him being linked. If they value their pitiful lives, then they should stay on this world. Though if they want to come and challenge him, then so be it. That'll be their funeral. Piccolo laughs as he and Baldur escape to go and corrupt the worlds around them. The others turn to Master Odin, asking what can they possibly do to defeat a being of pure darkness like that, and how is he linked to Kami? Odin isn't sure himself, and only his other half, Kami, will know what to do. After many Kiragas are cast on Kami, he eventually comes to, and wonders what he has done. Piccolo, the embodiment of the darkness in his heart, was released and killed all the upperclassmen around them. He isn't sure what they can possibly do to stop him in the state he's in now. The only way he can think of is summoning Kingdom Hearts, as that is the only way he can think to stop him. Master Odin forbids this, as summoning Kingdom Hearts is far too dangerous, and if Piccolo got his hands on it, then the entire multiverse would already be in much more danger than it already is. Xehanort tells the others that Piccolo's powers are very interesting. He didn't even use a Keyblade, and his powers were enormous. If he could kill the other Keyblade wielders so easily, then the power of darkness is truly great. Ericus asks him how he could speak that way. Darkness is the greatest enemy of all, and they need to do whatever it takes to destroy it. Xehanort and Ericus get into an argument, as Piccolo can't be destroyed, as with his death, Kami will die as well. Does Ericus truly hate darkness that much, that he'd snuff out one of his closest friends to see that it truly dies forever? Ericus goes silent, with Kami telling them they can't just sit here and do nothing, with Piccolo out there bringing the worlds down in darkness. He may be weaker now without Piccolo, but he knows that if they work together, they can defeat him and restore balance to the universe. Kami and the other Keyblade wielders journey out to the other worlds to find Piccolo and bring him down. The group travel around many of the other worlds searching for Piccolo, but only come across his demons he's left behind in the other worlds. They're able to save Agrabah and Wonderland from his demons, but many other worlds are falling into darkness. The worlds of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Country of the Musketeers, and the Symphony of Sorcery all fall, with Kami being able to sense their destructions. He is angered at himself for being corrupted by the darkness, with Ericus blaming him as well for allowing him to take over. Xehanort is much more forgiving on Kami than Ericus, sensing that there is still something that can be good about it. Eventually, they arrive to the magic mirror, where they can find Piccolo. After it sucks them inside of it to fight, they take him down easily and are able to find out where they need to go. They arrive at Yensid's castle and find a group that is struggling to hang in there. Yensid, his partner Mutaito, and their pupils Roshi and Shen are battling the demons and the Heartless, and failing very badly. Thankfully, with our Keyblade wielders arriving to the scene, they are saved, with a lot of the demons and Heartless being destroyed. Piccolo can sense his forces begin to be destroyed, so sends in Baldur to deal with them. Baldur arrives, instantly killing Vor. The others retaliate, with his darkness being too strong, and the others losing their lives as well. The only one who can stand a chance to not be corrupted by his darkness is Xehanort, who is able to dive into his heart and find the true Baldur underneath the surface. Baldur begs for Xehanort to free him, saying that if he's free, then maybe the darkness will leave his body. Xehanort thinks it over for a moment, until he slashes at Baldur with his Keyblade, killing him. He apologizes, saying that with him dead, then there's nothing for the body to corrupt. It will be easier for them all this way. With Baldur's death, his body explodes, leaving the darkness to return to King Piccolo. Enraged, Piccolo launches down to destroy the rest of the wielders, trying to challenge him. The only ones who are able to survive are Kami, Xehanort, and Ericus, who battle it out with the Demon King, for the fate of all worlds. As Kami and Piccolo battle themselves, Xehanort notices that there is something forming all around them, some sort of mystical keyblade. He tries to grab it for himself to use, but Piccolo slaps him away, causing him to fall unconscious. Ericus is taken out as well, with Kami severely weakened. Piccolo snarls at his good half, saying that if he could kill him, he would. Instead, he'll give him a fate worse than death, a front row seat to watch him destroy all the worlds. Right as he is about to be knocked out, Master Odin appears, using his no-name Keyblade to trap Piccolo in chains. Piccolo screams out, attempting to break free, as Yensid and Mutaito summon their own Keyblades and launch their own magic spell, the Mafuba, right at Piccolo to seal him away. Piccolo screams out as he is sealed, saying that this isn't the end and he'll be back for them. He swears it. Piccolo is sealed within the realm of darkness, with Mutaito losing his life after using his strongest spell. The battle has been won, but with so many dead. The only survivors of the main school are Kami, Xehanort, and Ericus, with even Bragi, who seemed to be one of the best, losing his life to Piccolo. Odin tells Kami that while he did raise him, he is banished from ever returning to Scala. The reason so many are dead is because he allowed the darkness to corrupt within him and create Piccolo. Kami understands that he has to go, with Xehanort wondering why they're forcing their friend to leave just because of the darkness. He worked with them to help get rid of Piccolo, and now they're getting rid of him too? It doesn't seem fair. After Kami's departure, Xehanort and Ericus undergo their Mark of Mastery exam, passing it to become Keyblade Masters. Though, Xehanort says he's not staying. He's off to discover more about the darkness, and how there may be a way to control it and use it for the good of everybody. Ericus and Odin hate darkness more than anything, so don't support Xehanort in his quest, but he's not doing it for them. He's doing it for Kami. He leaves Scala, vowing to never return. Kami has put himself into exile after the Piccolo War, being found by a mysterious man named the Master of Masters, who tells Kami that he's an ancient Keyblade Master as well, and with his help, he can train him to become a master in his own right. Many decades later, Kami has eventually become a Keyblade Master, though has given up on his Shenron Keyblade, breaking it into 7 pieces of light to scatter around all worlds. That way, its power can never be used for evil. He's settled on the world of the dragon, becoming its own Master of Masters, where he watches Roshi and Shen, students of Yensid and Mutaito, attempt to find other Keyblade wielders who would be able to fight against darkness. This world is pretty peaceful all things considered, though one day, Kami notices a strange spacecraft coming to the planet and lands near one of Roshi's pupils. He looks closer, noticing that this boy is from another world just like him, and has a tail? That's very interesting to him. Kami isn't the only one who's gotten visitors from other worlds, as Master Ericus, who is now residing in the Land of Departure, has gotten visitors from other worlds as well, his own students, Aqua and Terra. Terra especially is a weird case, as he seems to have a tail as well. Meanwhile, Xehanort has been searching the land, discovering more about the ancient Keyblade War and the darkness. He has come to the conclusion that there is too much light in the world, so much light that it blinds those of what is truly important. He will use the powers of darkness to take the world and remake it in his own image, and he's found just a vessel to do so, a young boy named Ventus. Little that these 3 know, all of these children are about to embark on a quest of their own, which will shake up the worlds forever. And with that, we're going to be leaving this episode right here. Hope you guys enjoyed diving into mixed elements from Dragon Ball into the events of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, and I hope it wasn't too confusing to people who don't know much about Kingdom Hearts. Next episode will be more straightforward, as we're going to be heading into the much simpler and clean game of Birth by Sleep. So if you guys are looking forward to that, then be sure to like the video and subscribe, and this video can get at least 1,000 likes, then I'll see about making a part 2. Before I go, huge thanks to my patron 11726 for suggesting this what if, and I'd like to give a shout out to all of my other patrons as well who helped to make these videos possible. In the official patron tier, we have Nathan, BBB, and Bossmaker. In the moving up into world tier, we have Patrick Sanalin, John Lister, David Monroe, Sinshenron92, Oak Woodtree, Ogata Shiba, Monal, Eric Doss, Blake Foyer, Matthew Garcia, Vegito Gaming 72, True Lightning Striker, Joseph Calvin Liu, Samroth, and Speedster352. In the VIP patron tier, we have Always Zero, 11726, and Tails Homie 99. And finally, in the God tier, we have Tony Kage. Thank you, especially Tony Kage, you're an absolute god. And thank all of you so much for watching, and until we meet again. See you later!